Hello,
Hey, back at it like crack
and
addicts.
we are back with another episode of Nothing But Facts, Season 3, Episode 13. I'm Chloe Rogers,
Hmm.
grandson of Steve Rogers,
Whoopie.
son of Aaron Rogers,
Huh?
and I'm here with the bestest co-host in the whole wide world, Mr. Trill Bill.
Yeah, just back at it like crack addicts.
Cool.
Showing some support.
Can we,
Whiskas.
can we hit a little round of applause because we had a week off? I feel like we deserve it. Right here, right here.
Yeah.
You had fun. You had fun where you were at.
Gotta have some fun.
Well, it's in
Estoy
Mexico.
muy bien.
In Mexico,
Estoy muy bien. Estoy Pablo.
you're not even from there. You gotta be Chapo.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, man. Back at it like crack addicts. Talk
Yes,
that
sir.
good shit.
Yes, sir. Let's get going.
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, welcome back, everybody. Shout out everybody who participated in our MBF giveaway. Shout out to the two winners who won those Top Shot moments. But we're back with another segment of Nothing But Facts or Crack. Right. So we're gonna jump on
I
into
see
it.
what you did there.
Yeah. See.
See
See.
what you
See.
did.
I had to like kick it off with a little bit of a cheesy
I see
bang.
what you did there.
But last night had to have been quite possibly one of the best games of basketball we may have ever witnessed as far as college goes in our time, because that was a lot of fun. So Facts or Crack was last night's Gonzaga UCLA game, a top 10 NCAA tournament game all time.
Yeah. It had so much going on in that fucking game. First of all, Johnny Juzang is a fucking bucket for UCLA. Like, he's a issue. People don't
Go get an
that
agent
shit.
because you're going to the NBA.
Like, he just a bucket, bruh. He was giving everybody.
Honestly, I don't think I've ever seen a college player be so efficient in a while. Like, he was
I
really
think
just
in
like
in a
buckets.
tournament, he scored the second most in UCLA history.
At one point, he
Right
was 11
behind
for 15 in
Kareem.
his shooting.
That boy's a bucket, a walking bucket.
He didn't have a game under 20 in the
In
tournament.
my 25 years, yeah, that's one of the best games ever. Besides when Gordon Hayward almost beat Duke. Same shot, somewhat same shot that Jalen Suggs took.
It was just, bruh, like,
That boy is fast.
once Juzang missed his shot and then he got his rebound, I was just watching it and
It's
I
that
was like,
split
okay.
second because
I thought that was going to be the Cinderella moment.
It was the split second. No, because it was a tie game, but it was that split second that he turned the other way that Suggs just took off because he ended up being over there where Suggs took the shot. If only maybe he turned the other way, he would have been like, "Oh yeah, this guy's a crackhead, and he's about to do what I think he's about to do."
Well, I mean, in that situation, you just got to stop the ball.
Did they
at
have
some point.
timeouts, or Suggs was just like, "Give me the
Gonzaga
ball"?
had a timeout,
They were like,
but it's
"Fuck."
like in that situation, you let the defense get set up and shit.
Because if not, you don't let
and
them set up, and then it's
yeah.
gonna be overtime, and then anything could happen.
It was great the way they played that shit. I'm not gonna lie, like that shit was the smartest way to play it. I can't cap it all.
Give it to your best player.
Oh, of course. I
And
mean,
he
shit,
knew what he
just-
was doing.
Just get out the way. Honestly,
He had the foreman. You know, Grandpa Skip Bayless was like, "That was a lucky shot." It's like, how Sway? How's that a lucky shot? He been practiced that. That was no Chuck.
bruh, if the
He
man
had form.
wasn't,
He jumped. He followed through with it. He was like, "That's going in." He maybe didn't think it was gonna be bank, but he was like, "Yeah, that's a good shot right there."
I mean, shit. The way I think about it, the man won Mr. Football in the state of Minnesota and Mr. Basketball in his senior year. The man meant to do this shit. Like he really built to do this. So none of that shit surprised me, bro. It was
Mhm.
just damn. He hit a 40-footer to win this bitch. That's how the
why
game
sports
ended.
is so beautiful.
I
To
just
keep
know I
that
lost
perfect
my
season
moment.
going.
I lost my mind in that moment, honestly. Like, and I know we tweeted it yesterday, but that may have been one of the best sequences of basketball within the last 10 years.
That whole second half was wild.
It'll be real tragic. They do all that to fucking lose to Baylor on Monday.
Hey, Baylor got some killers.
Oh yeah, Baylor full of savages, bro. They ain't playing no fucking games with niggas. Baylor is full of savages.
Big 12 don't play.
Well, in light of us asking that question
Mhm.
and us knowing now that Gonzaga is going to go on to the championship game, they have the opportunity to create history if they do win and go undefeated. So, Facts or Crack, will Gonzaga finish undefeated?
I got cracked.
Damn, like that.
It's just like I don't think they get it done. I think either Timmy doesn't show up or Suggs doesn't show up. But
Does Baylor have the big bodies? Because if he does, I don't see Timmy going like, "Come on, man." It's no disrespect, but we know Gonzaga big men besides Sabonis. Like, you feel me? Like, they just going through a weak conference, going through everybody, and then they run into a big Power 5 conference, and they're just like, "Oh, this is a big ass guy.
not
Why he
only
bigger
that,
than me?"
it's just like, bro, their backcourt is gonna be tested as a fuck.
Mhm.
Because it's like, Jalen Suggs could play with anybody.
Two lottery picks going at it, pretty much.
But Clisper's gonna have to guard the fuck up, and the rest of that team has got to show up as well. Nimhart the fucking transfer from Florida. He's gonna have to play big because, bruh, it can't just be on Jalen Suggs and Timmy. Baylor's not gonna allow that shit. They just held Houston to 59 points, bruh. They not
Baylor's
playing
looking
that
super
shit.
nice.
Exactly. Bruh.
I think they're really like the remedy to the momentum that Gonzaga
And
has.
I think
going.
they'll probably be the underdog, so I will for sure put a little bet on Baylor, 100%. Especially Gonzaga got tested. I know they didn't think UCLA was gonna come out like this.
Yeah, I don't think anybody.
They're the
did.
first 11. Like they were in the play-in to get into the tournament.
Exactly.
Like everyone should have known. Like they had a plus 14.5 spread. Like sure they covered that. There was no way they're gonna get blown out. NCAA not gonna let both games be blowouts. That shit was poetic. That shit was just beautiful.
Right. Well, looking forward to that game tomorrow. I believe it is, right.
Yeah, you got the women's one
night.
going on right now. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Shout out to the ladies, but yeah, that championship game tomorrow is gonna be great.
Arizona, they got heart. The coach is like, fuck the haters. They got heart.
Now, something on a little bit more of a serious note. Earlier this week, or actually, I guess now last week, we saw Michael Rappaport reveal a screenshot of some DMs between him and Kevin Durant, where Kevin Durant called him some homophobic slurs and some pretty derogatory names overall. Now, in the past, people have called things like this locker room talk, but we did just also see Myers Leonard get into some, heavy trouble and ultimately get cut out of the league for using racial slurs. Now, given the severity of Myers Leonard's punishment, was KD's punishment too light? Facts or crack?
Nah, it wasn't too light. Not at all. I guess you would say facts then, but nah, it wasn't too light
at all.
Like, let's just face it, Myers Leonard, what the fuck does he contribute to your team? He contributes.
What are you gonna do, KD? You're the second best, top 2 player in the game.
But wait, don't you think that's creating somewhat of a double standard in the scenario?
Oh, of course it is. But it's a granted. And
what are you gonna do? Fine Kate because it's KD. You're gonna fine him 300,000 or
fuck
something.
that. I'm gonna say I'm gonna trade KD. I'm gonna tell KD he can't play for a week or two. Like,
the higher ups just like don't do that, but in their head they did not cross. Yo, we got to trade this man. Like, hell no, I would lose my job. I can't trade him.
But looking at it now from the standpoint of like the GM of the team, right? When Myers Leonard's situation happened, the Miami Heat suspended him indefinitely. Right. Yeah. Now, it didn't last too long. I'm pretty sure they reinstated him after like a few games. I'm sure that was so they could trade him, but yeah, his suspension was indefinite. Do you think KD should have maybe been suspended for a couple of games at the least?
Shit, he's already out.
Nah, KD hasn't even played since February something. And let's face it, if Michael Rappaport doesn't put this out, you don't know about it.
And he said he feels bad about
Myers Leonard.
And it's like I feel like
streaming online with fucking fans. Anyone could see that shit. This is KD
let's
going
keep it
back
real.
And forth
this man's
with somebody.
This is just a grown man conversation. He wouldn't think, oh, this man's gonna screenshot it like a little female. Like, you get me?
So it's like, bro,
being a little child, pretty much.
Like, yeah, he shouldn't have said it, but hell no. Like,
this man Leonard was like, I'm gonna say this, nothing's gonna happen. And a stand account was there. He's like, I just got you off my team.
Not only
I
that,
never
bro,
wanted you on the Heat. Now you're gone for real.
It's just like, yo, like Myers Leonard, like you said, it's the double standard, but one dude is a bench warmer, the other dude is a top, at the worst, a top 5 NBA player right now.
Yeah, he top 20 all time, top 15.
So it's just like, you live with that. Yeah, KD, slap on the wrist. Don't do that again. It don't matter. It don't really matter at all. Like, KD, even in his statement where he came out and was interviewed and he was like, yeah, I just feel bad that you guys saw that side of me.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that I feel bad I said that shit. I just feel bad y'all saw that shit. That's it. And I respect that shit.
Yeah, he did own up.
He came out, he was wrong, but he was like,
it's facts, big dog. Big facts.
All right. Well, from one punishment to another, the MLB decided to punish the state of Georgia by removing the All-Star game from Atlanta due to Georgia's new election voting rights.
Yeah, they basically have voter suppression back.
Yeah, they made it harder for people who are absentee voters to get their vote taken care of.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I feel like it's the right thing to do because what was that? I think 2, maybe 3 years ago when the All-Star game was going to be in Charlotte, and this for the NBA. But I think the owner or something happened where they made some comments against the gay community, and basically,
like, yeah, we're not coming.
Adam Silver was like, yeah, we're not coming to Charlotte, bro. We'll put this shit anywhere else. So it's like, yeah, bro, when things like that happen, I think it's very well justified.
Yeah, for sure. That's facts.
Especially when, let's face it, baseball is pretty fucking big in the South. It's America's pastime,
Bro,
but
that's
it's
a
big in the South, bro.
bro. That's a punishment. They're like, we're not gonna get the All-Star game. They're going through it right now. Like
Exactly,
baseball, we
bro.
don't think baseball is like we like baseball, but it's not like there's people that take baseball serious. Like we take basketball and like football. Like it's big to them, especially with the man. Yeah, Atlanta is a baseball fan, especially with the Braves over there.
Bro, the Braves, they were gonna have the All-Star game this, like, bro, think about it. They would have had 2 All-Star games in the span of 6 months for 2 of the 3 major sports leagues that have All-Star games, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you fumbled you fumbled your own bag right there. I don't feel bad for Atlanta. I don't feel bad for Georgia.
And the Braves already removed the patches off their hats and jerseys.
Exactly.
Right.
All right. Well, let's keep it going. And it's good to see baseball back, honestly. It's good to see people
Yeah.
back in the
It's good
stands.
to be betting on baseball.
Yep.
Yeah.
Baseball's looking lovely this year once again. But now moving on over to football. Last week we saw some trades happen in the draft where the Dolphins traded down and then they traded back up. I believe it was that the 49ers traded for the number 3 pick overall while the Dolphins went down to number 12. And then the Dolphins traded back up to what number was it? I believe
6.
it was number 6. Yeah. While the Eagles then traded back down. However, with all these moves happening, maybe people are trying to build up. And are we looking at teams like the Eagles and 49ers trading up in the draft for a QB? Is this facts or crack?
No, I think the Eagles are for sure working with Hurts. And he changed his number to number 1. He is for sure going to be QB1 come this season. The 49ers, yo, Jimmy G, you're fried. Bill has to come get you. You're going to be a bench warmer because Justin Fields is coming. I see it's like 50-50 because the Eagles got Hurts. But the 49ers, ever since Jimmy G missed that throw to Emmanuel in the Super Bowl, Shanahan has been the same. He's taking a quarterback, and it should be Fields. What is that, 4-4-4?
Yeah, well,
on, man.
that's going to be tied into the next facts or crack. This is kind of like
Monster.
a two-parter.
But yeah, I see only one of those teams doing it.
Yeah, it's really only one because let's face it, if you're the Eagles, the only quarterback you're gonna really have a chance to look at number 12 is like Mac Jones and like Kellen Mond, people of that Kyle Trask, that
lower.
next tier down.
Yeah.
But those top 4 are top 10 picks. Like they're not gonna get past the Panthers, I think, who have pick 8. But yeah, that's the way it's gonna fold. Like Trey Lance, Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, Zach Wilson, all of them top 10 picks. Should be at the very least.
And it's crazy because we got to see quite a few pro days happen, but one of the most impressive was Justin Fields. So will teams regret passing up Justin Fields? Facts or crack? I mean, at his pro day, he ran, as Chloe even just said out loud, his 40-yard dash in an unofficial time was 4 seconds.
What is he, like 6'3", 6'4"?
Yeah, he is 6'3", 228 pounds.
Damn, like 88 speed in Madden. Yo, that boy is fire.
The Rams were the only team not in attendance for him.
Yo, everything eventually gets broken. He might break that, that curse of Ohio State quarterbacks. He for sure has a big ass chance. Him and Trevor Lawrence have been the talk. All these other quarterbacks, there's the Trey Lance. What's the boy from BYU?
Zach Wilson.
Yeah, Zach Wilson. All that. It's been Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence for the past year and a half.
Shit, it's nice. I'm rooting for Justin Fields, especially going all the way back to the QB 11 shits when it was on NFL Network coming out of high school. But a quarterback running a 40, I don't get too caught up in because let's face it, quarterback uses speed. If you're Lamar Jackson, yeah, it matters. But I don't think there's too many Lamar Jacksons running around.
I think it matters for Lamar just because like the weapons aren't there. Because he doesn't. If there was weapons, he don't need to. You do what Russell Wilson did, just eventually stop running.
You just buy time until these motherfuckers get open. It's not that you have to run.
It's like he just got Mark over here. Is like, I'm trying.
Exactly. It's literally
Hollywood. Like, bro, I'm too small, man. These guys are bullying me, man.
That's too much to comprehend.
They pushing me off the line.
Yeah. Justin Fields, to me, it's the best of both worlds. He's as big as all of those other quarterbacks. He's got the speed, and to me, he's got the name and the cachet like Trevor Lawrence.
Does he go to the 49ers now at this point?
If I'm Cal, well, you know what? Honest, that's only if the Jets don't take him, and that's if the Jets
the second pick, right?
Yeah, if the Jets keep Sam Darnold. But to me, the first quarterback not named Trevor Lawrence that should be off the board should be Justin Fields.
Turn my mic up a little bit.
I got you.
Because, I'm sorry, Zach Wilson.
What's the hype? Do you believe it?
I see Johnny Manziel 2.0.
Oh,
And it's not to say
Yikes.
that like he's got that whole mindset where he's not as focused, but let's face it, this is another sneaky athletic is what they like to call these quarterbacks that aren't black. So, bruh, Zach Wilson, he didn't even beat Coastal Carolina this year. Biggest game of the year.
Weren't they going crazy? Coastal Carolina finished. Yeah, the
bruh, the
boys fire.
Chanticleers. We all know about the Chanticleers.
You guys were betting on them
Shout
every
out
week.
to- shout out to
Every
Santa
week,
Clears.
you guys
So
were
I'm
betting.
like, bruh, they couldn't beat them. He only put up 17 points.
Oh, that's
so
tragic.
It's like, bruh, nah, I'm not finna get caught up in this hype. Trey Lance, you know, he had the whole 44 touchdowns. I think he's thrown one career interception in college. But bruh, Justin Fields, he been that. I'm sorry if they aren't cheated a year or two ago in that playoff game against Clemson. They're probably in a championship against LSU instead of Trevor Lawrence.
Oh, yeah, that was a fumble.
Exactly, bro. That was
okay.
a fumble. So it's like, it's a lot, bro. Justin Fields, quarterback 2, easily.
On a more somber note, we saw Roy Williams, coach of UNC, retire. Now, the question has to come up, seeing such a great coach retire, is Roy Williams a top 5 college basketball coach? Now, before I get your take, just to at least read off some, highlights of his career.
I got a bigger thought after you finish this.
Okay. So Roy Williams reached 900 wins in fewer games and in fewer seasons than any other NCAA coach in history. He's the only coach to lead 2 academic All-Americans of the year. He reached 3rd in all-time ACC regular season wins, tied for 5th all-time conference wins at 18 wins. He was inducted into the Naismith Hall of Fame in 2007, and he sent 32 players to the NBA as first-round draft picks with a total of 52 former players in the league. And then out of the most wins out of head coaching, I think he's at like 900 something. So I think he's in the top 5 as well.
Yeah, I got him as a top 5 coach of all time, at least like in the common modern day era. The way I think about it, you saw Bob Knight on that list. Coach K easily, Coach Cal, right? They just fucking throw niggas into the league.
I feel like the biggest thing with college coaching, it's hard to win. Let's keep it real.
Looking at these, Smith.
Roy Williams coached 33 years and won 3 times. Every time he got there, he won. How long has Coach K been coaching for? And he has 5 rings. Shit. You get me? It's like that's why being a college coach is more than just coaching, because bro, these are kids that you're their father figure over there. You see Marcus Page, that clip came up on his senior year. Kobe White on the Bulls was Coach Williams pulled up, and he was so happy he literally almost started tearing up after the game. It's bigger than that, because these are like pretty much father figures. These guys are growing up in front of your eyes, and you're obviously teaching them the game of basketball as well. But yeah, he's fire. I still got Coach K, but he's fire. And then you got John Wooden, of course. He has 10 championships. No one's ever gonna touch that. Yep. The list is so small on the all-time, like how many titles, that Billy Donovan's there with 2. And he won 2 back-to-back, just like that. It's hard to make that shit.
Yeah, big thank you to Roy Williams. I think he
molded, like 130 colleges?
Some legends right now. Like, if you think about it, you look back at UNC and all the people he's coached, he's got some real top-tier names. Let's see.
He's made people hella money. Vince.
That's what I was gonna say.
Julius Peppers was fucking a basketball player.
Ty Lawson was there for a little minute.
Ty Lawson, he sent Tyler Hansborough to.
He made Tyler Hansborough one of the best college basketball players ever.
Like, bruh, he done did it with.
Here we are. So we got
everybody.
We got Marvin Williams, class of 2004. Tyler Hansborough, Wayne Ellington,
that's a shooter.
Ty Lawson, James Michael McAdoo, John Henson, Brandon Wright, Nazir Little, Cole Anthony, Harrison Barnes. 5. Those are some of the more modern ones.
Yeah, that's probably, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Vince Carter, you just think about that and it's like, damn, bruh. He made some shit happen.
Yeah, he had Tyler Zeller, Kendall Marshall.
Even recently, the kid that I think he plays for Phoenix.
Justin Jackson won a title there.
Exactly. And Cameron Johnson.
Kirk Heinrich.
Bruh, he didn't make it happen.
Oh, yeah, I forgot he coached in
He coached at Kansas, yeah.
Raymond Felton.
Paul Pierce. He coached Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce living life.
That
right
boy
now.
Said good morning at 8:00 at night. You're like, yo, are you okay?
Yeah,
are you okay?
He's going through. He's definitely.
He's not even gonna show up tomorrow. He's like, I don't know. probably not even there anymore.
All right, but let's keep it moving. So after the trade deadline hit and moves were made, which we're going to talk about the trade deadline shortly, but after moves were made, a lot of people realized there are quite a few teams that remain with a lot of cap space. And heading into this offseason, you have some big names such as Kawhi Leonard and Bradley Beal who are going to be free agents. So will we see a big name in the NBA sign elsewhere in the offseason?
Bradley Beal's a free agent?
If I'm not mistaken, he's a free agent, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah, you might have to double
I'm
check
looking
that
at this
fact,
list. He's
sir.
not there.
Oh, I
I'm pretty sure
thought I
he's
had
not.
read that he was going to be a free agent too.
No, I'm lying to you.
In the off season, honestly, it really depends on how the situation ends and how this season
Especially if
ends.
they end ugly. And
Yeah, he's
on
going
the
to be an
Lakers.
unrestricted free agent in 2021.
What the
Okay, if that's the case, then
See?
Oh shit, he gone.
Oh, wait, hold on. Okay,
yeah, I was like, because he's still on his contract. But yeah, it depends how it plays over there in Los Angeles on the Clippers side. If that shit ain't ugly, Kawhi's either like, you got to go PG or I'm gone. Pretty much.
to me, Kawhi is no reason to stay, bruh. You can do multiple things. I mean,
Now,
It
I
would
think
be
I think he'll go
cool,
to.
but to me, the scariest thing, you said it the other day, he could go to Golden State
I would be terrified.
and they're right back to their shit again. I mean, shit.
Steph gonna be like, bro, I don't have to do it. I just play offense.
The NBA is over. I'll say it right the fuck now. The NBA is over.
And
If
Clay's there and shit. Oh yeah, I'm terrified of the Warriors.
he could just be like, fuck it. I'm just changing teams. I'm not even leaving the city. I'm just going to go to the Lakers now.
So,
He do that shit, bro. It's a wrap. I won't watch basketball. They blowing out every fucking body, bro. It don't matter how the Nets could
Wiseman's
put
still there. Oh yeah,
The Nets could put 7 people on the court. It don't fucking matter.
I would take if Kawhi went to Golden State. I'd take them over Brooklyn. I would want to see a series against the Lakers for sure. But Brooklyn, yeah, Kawhi Leonard. Oh fuck, with Curry and Clay, Draymond, Wiseman.
They make some shit happen.
and don't forget about Oubre.
Shit, they try that whole Kelly
Wiggins
Oubre
is still
gone.
there. Oh yeah,
Kelly
someone.
Oubre
Yeah,
gone.
one of
Nah, you
those
think
guys
he's
is
gone?
gone.
He-
Mhm.
He's gone for sure.
You got Chris Paul. Let's see what happens to him. Mike Conley, Kyle
Yeah,
Lowry.
well, some unrestricted because Chris
Jamal-
Paul, I think, is a restricted
Oh, yeah,
free
that's the same
agent.
as some of
Yeah,
them.
so the unrestricted free agents that are going into 2021 include Mike Conley, Kyle Lowry, DeMar DeRozan,
He
Otto
gone.
Porter Jr., Victor Oladipo, Tim Hardaway Jr., Schroeder, Fournier. and quite a few
DeRozan
others.
gone. Like he's so gone.
Tim Hardaway Jr. could fuck himself up because he's great playing next to
Yeah,
Luka.
he's going. Luka's making him. He's going like 18 a game type shit. Like he's going crazy.
But he could be like, fuck it, let me go get a bag somewhere, and then never.
He
be that
honestly
good
can.
again.
You got Lonzo as a restricted free
Yeah, he's coming to
agent.
the Knicks. You could erase that honestly.
I just think that Lonzo, he's gonna be someone that gets not a big bag, but he could get 4
He's
for
gonna get
60
paid.
this year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
easily.
Kawhi and Chris Paul have player options this year.
DeRozan, he's for sure leaving. I just
I-
don't know where.
If
It'll be weird if he
I'm
take a pay cut to
if
the
I'm
Lakers.
Chris Paul, what the fuck am I opting out for?
Honestly.
Isn't Chris Paul do like 30 plus or close?
39.9 million.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah,
bruh.
I'm
If I'm
opting
Chris
in.
Paul, I didn't already opted in
I
already.
do
And,
State
and they're
Farm?
and they're one of the top teams in the West right now.
Exactly,
Number
bruh.
2. I
I-
think they have the second
I'm
best
Raymond
record.
family in Phoenix at this point. We live in Phoenix at this point. That's what that means. We ain't
Look at
going
his son, bro.
nowhere.
You want to see something? Go drive a little bit. You see the Grand Canyon.
Exactly.
Well, yesterday we saw Joel Embiid come back, if I'm not mistaken, right? On Saturday he came back, or Friday.
Pretty sure it was
But
yesterday.
with him coming back, he actually didn't do so bad. I think he had dropped I want to say it was like 20 something points and then like 8 rebounds. But can Embiid still make an MVP run? Facts or crack?
Nah.
It's going
I-
to be
it's hard.
extremely difficult.
Yeah, like once you lose, how many games has he missed? He's missed, I believe, more than 10. That's hard when you
And
got,
they played well without him.
and
so I
now
feel like that
Harden's
kinda-
missed 2 games too. So it's like I really Jokic, and then not everyone doesn't want to do it, but this man Giannis might win 3 straight. He is going insane, like 35-13 the past couple of games. He's doing
Well, I
like
think,
20.
wasn't
he's
he
doing
out
like-
yesterday?
Yeah, he missed. I think no, he's missing today. No, it was yesterday. He missed yesterday. But it was just like that's 1 game. Harden's already missed 2 games and it's a hamstring. You know you're gonna be cautious with that. Giannis
Yeah.
is sitting down because it's just Giannis. Give him a
Especially
break.
because Brooklyn has the
And
the
Jokic
star
is
power
just
to cushion
Jokic
that.
is just like he's in the fountain of youth. You don't get hurt. Knock on wood. Don't want him to get hurt. But the man's a monster. Dame too,
Yeah.
especially because I have a future bet on Dame that I forgot about and it's just increasing. when you look at the most valuable player, this man Dame has missed. Nurkic has been out. CJ missed over a month. Granted, he had Gary Trent Jr. going crazy.
But
But he's just been
why aren't people talking about like CP3 or Donovan Mitchell being in the MVP
because
race?
we don't vote and the voters want to see the numbers. Like, oh my God, like Chris Paul doing 25, 8 and 8, he would be there. But since he's only doing like 16 and like 8 and some, put up his numbers. He's producing, but the voters aren't seeing that on the numbers. So they're like, oh yeah, there's no point.
And then Donovan Mitchell. What about Donovan Mitchell? How you feel about that, Trill?
I think with the Donovan Mitchell thing, they're kind of looking at the whole team,
That whole team is having a statistically one
having
of
a
the greatest
great
years
year.
in the franchise.
and it's like, hell, they're the #1 seed. And it's not like Donovan Mitchell is doing anything that we haven't seen before. Like, we've all seen this. He's doing 24, 25 points.
Doing it since a rookie.
And it's just like, okay, Conley showing up. Rudy Gobert actually looks like he's not worth a minimum. He's just not worth the fucking max. I could tell you that much.
Not no top 10 contract in history, but he's fire.
Exactly. He looks better than Hassan Whiteside. I say shit like that. So it's like, with that being said, yeah, you can make some shit happen, but it's going to be very hard to win MVP when you have James Harden doing the shit he's doing, Jokic doing the shit he's doing, Dame, and then you've got LeBron on ice, Embiid just getting back. Bruh. Donovan Mitchell might not even get a vote this year.
If Harden misses more time, it might just go to Giannis, Jokic, and Dame.
I mean, I feel like it has to go to Jokic at this point. That man he's playing like we haven't seen in God knows how long. He's literally redefining the whole center.
Then it has you gotta look at not only the numbers but what they're doing. And Dame has been doing this consistently, like 29 a game, 30 a game, like in his sleep. He's literally probably the clutchest player.
It's gonna be scary because let's face it. If the Bucks somehow fuck around and end up with a #1 seed, Giannis is MVP again.
Yeah,
but like anything that could happen. How
many games are they back of them?
Well, see, the thing I look at is this, right? The Blazers are the 6th seed right now, while the Nuggets are the 4th seed. That's something that definitely should attribute to that right there. But, you know, once again, looking at the Suns and the Jazz, I can't believe they're the 1 and the 2 seed. Nobody's talking about.
What are the Jazz? 38 and 11.
38 and 11.
Like, come on, that's insane.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
They're up 3.5 games on the Suns.
Because I'm looking at this from a distance. The Nuggets are 7.5 games back, and the Trailblazers are 8 games back.
Yeah.
So they're only separated by half a game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Shit's gonna come down to the end, like to the last week of the season, basically. That's because at this point, let's face it, the Lakers are gonna do what they're doing right there and finish off. Damn, that's a crazy first round matchup. That would mean that the Nuggets go home in the first round.
Yo, but they could keep falling. The Lakers lost today. They haven't counted it. They were down by like 20 against the Clippers.
It's a lot.
That shit's they're gonna be in the playing games. Bro, watch. The Lakers are going to be the 7th seed, and they're going to play the 10th seed Warriors in the playing game. You're going to see Curry against LeBron, and then LeBron going to be like, Steph, come.
Nah, I think, honestly, the matchup you'll most likely see is one of those two teams, either the Lakers or the Warriors, going up against one of these younger upcoming teams, whether it's the Pelicans, the Mavs, the Grizz, anybody of that nature.
Luka playoff series, I like it.
Exactly. Like, you're going to see some shit like that. But at this point, you just get along for the ride, bro. Mm-hmm. Just buckle down. I think regular season ends May 16th, if I'm not mistaken. So we're almost a month away from playoff basketball. About to be that time of year again, bro.
The craziness.
It's right around the corner, and the season's getting close to ending. Sadly, LaMelo Ball caught an injury that ended his season, but
get me hot.
He played so well that you can't help but ask the question, can LaMelo Ball still win Rookie of the Year? Facts or crack?
No, he's missing how many games?
He's missing, it said it was a minimum of 4 weeks.
If Anthony Edwards can sustain what he's doing and finishes off the year as
he's caught some great momentum.
Even as a 17-point a game or 18-point a game score, he's going to run.
That boy in Sacramento, excuse me.
Tyrese Halliburton is nice.
Going dumb. He's super efficient with it too.
I just look at,
I don't know, but it's like, who are you going to give it to? Because it's like you can't go based off teams because there are teams at the bottom of the conference.
Exactly.
So it's like
you're literally going off like individual performance and shit. And I'm like, Anthony Edwards every day just because of what he gives you on the offensive end. Like, don't get me wrong, Halliburton, like you said, hella efficient, but I've seen this nigga go for 40 already.
I hope they vote. Shit. But yeah, like Halliburton, I think he's gonna feel like 28 in that game.
And he's dunked on some grown ass man.
he had some some numbers that you would see like Chris Paul do like in his prime type shit. I just hope they don't go off like just the hype of what Anthony Edwards is. They just don't think of that dunk and they're like, oh yeah, he's the rookie of the year type shit. Because I feel like it's a lot deeper now since LaMelo's not gone. I mean, since he is gone. Because when he was there, it was a lock. I think he was like what minus 900 at one point to win the rookie of the year. Like that.
I got Anthony Edwards as a lock at this point, unless like let's say LaMelo, because that's the other thing to fucking think about. The Hornets are playoff seeds, so let's say LaMelo comes back, and he comes back at the beginning of May and just plays for those last 2 weeks, and the Hornets are a playoff team.
They could sustain it. Oh wait, Gordon Hayward's out for a month now.
Exactly.
So you never know.
If they sustain the playoff team, playoff seeding, and I can see him definitely getting rookie year.
Yeah.
Because he'll be the only fucking person on a winning team.
Well then, let's bring it on to a new segment. So trade deadline ended. We talked about how we want to talk about, what happened at the trade deadline. So I put together 5 trades that occurred last second at the trade deadline. I think this was a more explosive trade deadline. I had a lot of fun watching it go down. But the first trade we really saw that kind of sparked everything off was Big Vooch being sent on over to Chicago. And Chicago got Nikola Vucevic along with Al-Farouq Aminu, while the Orlando Magic got Wendell Carter Jr., Otto Porter Jr., and 2 first-round picks. So, grade that trade, fellas.
I got it as a B, just because for the Chicago's part, you were able to unload Otto Porter's retarded ass contract. I still don't understand why he got that max deal. I think after 1 year balling in Washington, doesn't make sense to me.
Washington was like Beal, Wall, Porter.
Exactly. They were like, we got a big
together.
3.
Oh yeah. Run it.
But it's the fact that you got rid of that contract and you were able to replace.
Didn't they get picks back?
Chicago sent 2 second-round picks.
2 first-round picks?
No, 2 second-round picks, if I'm not mistaken. It was 2 second-round picks.
Okay.
Let's double check real quick. Oh, it was 2 future first-round picks.
Exactly.
Yep,
so I'm like,
hey, Vucevic, they could make something work, but it's just like I don't get it with the Bulls. Like they beat the Nets today, but there was literally no Harden and KD. But it's just like you just be retarded, dog.
When you look at that team, they're not a bad team
at all. And they have
when I say Kobe White,
isn't Donovan over there? Billy
Donovan. Oh yeah, Billy Donovan.
Billy Donovan is the
like
coach.
They got something there.
Yeah. Fucking even Patrick Williams hasn't been a bad rookie this year. Lauri Markkanen is still there.
A lot of people were shocked that they didn't give up either of those 2 pieces between Lauri or Patrick Williams. So they gave up Wendell Carter Jr.
What pick did they have? They had the 4th pick in the draft, right? Who could they have taken that? Imagine they said like, damn, I'm thinking about it. Because everyone was like, why did we take Patrick Williams type shit? I remember that.
I mean, hell, in this draft, you could have had. Yeah, I'm trying to think who the fuck went right after Patrick Williams. Is
2020.
Yeah, it's a lot happening, sir. It's a lot.
He put in 2000. I was like, oh, we going back.
Here we are. So Patrick Williams was taken at 4 players.
Sorry to cut you off. I totally forgot about the guy at number 6. Where is he?
Yeah, Onyeka Okongwu.
Oh well, no, he has a foot injury. I kind of saw that happening. Like they were going to sit him down for the year.
Tyrese Halliburton was taken at 12.
Yeah.
Is there just too many guards in New Orleans? That's why Lewis doesn't play?
Oh, hold on.
Cole Anthony at 15.
Who the fuck is the 10th pick? Read that name.
The Suns. They drafted Jalen Smith.
Who the fuck is Jalen Smith?
Wait, I've never heard of him.
Exactly. I'm like,
click
bro,
on
who
him,
the fuck is
click on him.
Jalen Smith?
That's a made-up name.
No,
they just made it up on the spot.
Who did he play for? He played for Maryland?
He played at Maryland. 6'10" power forward.
Oh, he wasn't even the one and done. They was like, sir, where do we find you at?
Where is he?
He averaged 15.5 points, 10.5 rebounds, 2.4 blocks, 31.3.
Bro, he must have caught Rona. There's no there's no.
He made all first team in his conference. What the 7'2" wingspan? Oh yeah, I don't know what's.
Well, he's on the Suns.
He ain't getting no minutes.
He just learning.
I don't even know who that man is.
He just learning. That's all he's doing is learn.
His basketball reference gonna pop up. It's gonna say 0 for 0. That's all it's gonna say.
3.6 points.
He don't have no stats. He can't.
1.3.
He has 1.3 points per game, 1 rebound per game, and 0.1 assists per game.
It's the fact that he's trying. 16 games.
Who the fuck?
Oh, he's probably just not getting PT, and he's just there at the blowouts.
Bro, I'm just like, look, last year's draft, that was disappointing after those top 3 picks. I can't even lie. On Kongu, you gotta fucking play. That shit, fuck. Denny looking normal.
Yeah.
So it's like, bro, I'm a little concerned right now. Isaac Okoro, I don't know what the fuck you even doing out there in
He playing
Cleveland.
35 minutes a game and he can't even drop you 20 fantasy points. No disrespect to him. It's
Mm.
like, what? He just cardio.
Who may have done a good job? Detroit.
Well,
Sadiq Bey, Killian Hayes, and May
I
Pan
think
off in a
I
few
think I
years.
think Killian Hayes came back too.
well,
Exactly.
a lot of people think the Miami Heat did a good job at the trade deadline because the
Hey,
Heat got to secure Victor Oladipo, and we basically gave up a washer
Yeah, it's
and
a
a
nice
dryer for him. So Miami got Victor Oladipo, while Miami
What?
traded
You guys
to
got rid of
Houston
Kelly O.
Kelly Olynyk, Avery Bradley, and a 2022 draft pick swap.
I look at it like this: we came up on another 20-point score, and
Defense.
yeah,
So much defense.
like
For
I'm
what?
not-
For that 3-headed monster in Brooklyn. Pat know what he doing.
and I'm like, when people really look at it, shit, our free agent signings of Avery Bradley, Mo Harkless, shit, I'm trying to think who else we brought in this offseason. But them niggas,
Trevor over there.
yeah, we brought in Trevor during the season. But I'm
Oh.
like, all those people we brought in off season, I
Mhm.
think we flipped them niggas, bro. Because Pat Riley be like, shit,
It's not working.
it ain't working, bro. He look at
Once
you,
he
be
saw
like,
Harden, he went up to the drawing board. He's like, I got it.
he was like, this is not computing right now. He was like, they want Dunk, bro. Once Houston wanted Duncan and Tyler,
He was like,
yeah, I'll call y'all back in a couple months when
You
y'all
want-
got someone
you
else.
want both my guys? No, I can't do that.
Shit crazy. But yeah, the Heat grade that trade A, just because you
That
got
is a A.
another scorer
And you didn't have to get rid of your 2 shooters.
you didn't give up that much, honestly, bro. Avery Bradley wasn't even fucking playing for
Kelly
us.
O, you could just
I feel like we
Enters
gained more efficient
pressure.
players.
Precious enters his position now. Avery Bradley, wasn't he hurt? Has he even played for you guys?
Bro, he played like a
He
handful of
played,
games.
yeah.
this
Didn't
year.
he come
2
back and he
games.
got hurt when he came back
Yeah.
that game? Yeah. So that's you guys, and you got an all-star,
Yeah,
someone
exactly.
who could be a number 1 option to like a a fighting team.
And when
that's
he
saying
wants
a
to
lot.
be on that team, he's amazing.
And when he could easily pop off for 35, 40 points. He was the number 2 pick in his draft class for a reason.
He's a great second option.
Orlando's had some good draftees, but they just like, nah, we're gonna trade you.
They just be
We
like,
can't wait.
shit,
We don't have patience. We need Shaq or Tracy. Sorry.
need Jesus. That's what you fucking need.
Pretty much that too.
Well, a team that people thought was going to make a lot of noise was the Boston Celtics, and I believe this was one of the only trades they made because I know they traded Daniel Dice over to Chicago, but their biggest trade was that they got Evan Fournier and they traded Jeff Teague, who got waived by the Magic, and they sent 2 future second-round picks to the Magic.
So for me, I grade this as a C, bro.
Bro, this shit is an F, bro.
Because it's just
No
like
disrespect.
you got Evan Fournier, and don't get me wrong, he's an added shooter, but it's like
Averaging over 20 a
Ne-
game, if I'm
but
not mistaken.
this is basically just brought the French Gordon Hayward over here.
You
You did this like 2 years. You did this for the past 2 years
and
trying
you
to make
saw
this
it didn't
work.
work. Evan Fournier is about to average like 13 points a game now as a Boston Celtic. Tatum's there, Brown's there, Kemba's there. Man, don't make me start
Marcus
talking about.
Smart's gonna
Don't
be
make me
like,
start
"You're
talking
not
about
getting
Carson
shots over
Edwards
me."
and Langford in the dungeon. They won't let those boys be free. Them hoopers. Then you got Marcus Smart. Who else is there? There's just so many guards when they need a center.
Exactly.
They're gonna
bro.
go into the playoffs and get fucking swept because they're gonna be the 8th seed, and even Kevin Durant's gonna be center for them for the Nets and just destroy them. Let them play the 76ers in the first round. Hate them going home. You gonna have to drop 50. Brown gonna have to
Bruh,
drop 30 because it's not
let's
gonna
just
work.
face it. They can play. The only team that I think they would beat in the first round, and that's strictly off of just matchups, is the Hornets. Because the Hornets don't have a dominant big man. But if they gotta go to see Philly, Miami, Milwaukee,
Giannis has a
shit.
field day every time. So does Chris Middleton for some reason. Playing
Bam
Boston.
would kill these niggas. Like, it don't really matter what big man they see. He gonna work their ass, bro. So it's like, at this point, you give it to God. Y'all need to sign somebody. Maybe they save and talk over the playoffs. I don't know what it is,
They should call Kevin Garnett.
but they need to
Bring
make
back.
something work, bro. Because that shit not cool. It's not working. It's not popping
Yeah, realistically, like an F. Not for the player, but like for your trading because you need to make your team better, and you did not make your team better.
at all, bro. And you gave up fucking 2 second-round picks, bro. For what? Evan Fournier, like, come on, bro.
That's what you need in the playoffs, right? Oh, in the playoffs? Oh, crunch time? Yeah, we're gonna pass it to Evan. No, the fuck you not. You're gonna pass it to number 0.
Exactly. And just
Now,
get out the way.
now a trade that seems to potentially have revitalized the Portland Trailblazers' hopes of moving on up in the seeding ladder is the trade that got them Norman Powell. So Portland received Norman Powell while they sent to Toronto Gary Trent Jr. and Rodney Hood. Grade that trade.
The more I think about it, this is another average ass trade because, bruh, Gary Trent Jr. is gonna become a hooper, and
I
Rodney Hood has always been a fucking crackhead bucket coming off the bench.
pretty much.
It's just the fact that everyone got caught up in the fact Norman Powell was hooping this year, almost a 20-point a game score. Kyle Lowry's on the trade block, not playing. Pascal looks like crap. So it's like, oh my
Bro,
God,
I
Norman
picked up
Powell is
Powell, and he
amazing.
literally is a top 10 shooting guard. But I think it's like a blessing in disguise for Toronto because Gary Trent about it. That's their backcourt. Him and Fred. Kyle's gonna be out of there, and it's Gary Trent is a straight bucket getter. I thought they were gonna get rid of CJ or someone like eventually down the line and just replace him with Gary Trent. But Portland, they got 3 scorers now, give you like 70 a game to be completely honest. Because Powell is a walking bucket, but that's all you're gonna get. He's one of those guys that's gonna give you 25 points and 2 rebounds, and he's like, shit, maybe an assist. Like, no, I don't want to pass to you. Never mind, I'll get 0
Is
assists.
he the backup plan in case CJ's gone?
I think
No,
I think they're
I
gonna try
think
to
he's
keep him as the 3, but
basically
I don't know what they're doing. To
in
be
my
honest, man.
opinion, he'll probably take all of Melo's shots come next year. I don't think they bring Melo back come next year, and
Mhm.
he would be the third option. So whenever Dame or one of those two isn't on the court, he would be, and he would be that second option or first option if neither's on the court.
They low key just like stacking up their hoopers, and they're like, bro, we're gonna outscore you. That's how we're gonna win. And they still got Nurkic. Like he's not a bad center at all. He just can't stay healthy. And
At
like
all,
every time
bruh.
he gets hurt, it's like a
Man, and drink
crazy
some
ass
milk.
gruesome injury, and he has to miss multiple months. It's never just like no
His
sprain,
bones
ankle.
be just
Got
that's
no
the
milk.
noise the shit make.
Yeah, drink milk. Drink milk every day.
The final trade I have loaded up had Aaron Gordon going to the Denver Nuggets, while Orlando got Gary Harris, RJ Hampton, and a future first-round pick, while Denver also received Gary Clark.
Overall, I think Orlando had one of the better days in trade history because let's face it, we just covered them in how many different trades right there? I think
They-
two.
they
I just
got a-
realized that they
And a
did.
lot of people forget they have Markel Fultz and Jonathan Isaacs on
Hey,
long-term
And
contracts.
that man who just got traded to them, RJ Hampton, is a bucket getter.
Yeah.
Bruh,
And they got a
Straight
future
hooper.
first-round pick.
Gary Harris isn't bad as well. Like, bruh,
And they're gonna have a top fucking 5, being generous. They're probably gonna have a top 3 pick this year.
they just
Seeing how the
scooped up
lottery
hella
works
picks.
out.
Like, shit, that's a team you need to be concerned with. But
Wendell Carter's been playing good over there too. And then on the Nuggets side, go pull up the standings. They went up from like the 7th seed to the 4th seed now.
yeah,
Aaron Gordon fits right in. It's a lineup of Murray, Barton, MPJ. He's a fucking demon. Aaron Gordon. I think they put MPJ at the 4 because his ass is like fucking 6'10", 6'11", and then you got the Joker.
Someone that doesn't seem to be getting talked about is Mo Bamba. He got quite a bit more playing time out of this. He hasn't been starting, but he's
I think
been
it's-
looking pretty nice.
He's never gonna get his chance now because it's like Wendell Carter's out. He's better and he's outperforming him. And Wendell Carter, he's a very good center. He just can't stay healthy. Like Tro said a couple episodes ago, he plays like 40, 45 games. He's like, no, I'm good, and my body gets hurt, and I miss the rest of the year. Yeah, he's 3 years in, and he hasn't played a full season. But Bamba, like, it's like I said a while back, like how can he get PT when he was playing behind the top 3 center in the East, top 5 center overall probably, and now he has to deal with another guy who's just as hungry as him. They're practically around the same age. They might have been taken in the same draft, honestly. Bamba's probably been in the league for 3 years as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, just about, if I'm not mistaken, too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one final topic we have before we wrap it up for the night. Little interesting topic that I thought went around about sports, and it kind of converges all three. But if you had $1 million, would you bet on Justin Verlander throwing 100 consistent strikes, Steph Curry hitting 100 consistent free throws, or Justin Tucker hitting 100 consistent
Hey.
field goals?
Before you repeat that, the bestest co-host in the world said he says the screen is just on the logo, like on the live.
yeah, I think it's stuck because it's like ever since we went over a trade, it's just been sitting there like this. There's been no transitions. That's why.
Okay, I'll check on that. It's showing me we're still going.
Trust, I've been paying attention.
I'll check.
But yeah.
Oh yeah, it's just on
On
there.
that question right there, and we talked about it the other day. I'm either betting on my man Justin Tucker, or I'm betting on Steph Curry because I've literally, like, I think a video came out months ago where Steph Curry hits 105 in a row. So yeah, Steph Curry easily. And then if it's not Steph Curry, then I'm definitely gonna go with Justin Tucker.
I'm going with Curry. I'm not double down on Curry and then triple down. And then how many videos are on Twitter that he's been shooting? He shoots threes for like fucking 5-10 minutes straight.
Exactly, bro. It's like,
And I just think throwing a strike, like, bro, that's no, bro. That's not gonna happen 100
Here's
straight times.
the only other thing I would think of, if they're asking for a strike, does it have to be does it have to be like a minimum miles per hour type shit? Because you could just tell Justin Verlander, hey, I need 100 pitches over the fucking plate right now.
Oh, he's like,
And
yeah,
exactly. He'd get that shit done.
Doing this since I
But
was
it's
5.
like, if it's a minimum requirement of,
That's what I'm
hey,
thinking about. I'm like, he throwing it like 85, 90.
It's got-
I'm like,
exactly.
yo, his arm is done.
I will say this: our friend Pete over at Gamble on Ginter has a friend in the MLB, and he asked him. He said, "How would you feel about seeing Justin Verlander throw 100 consistent strikes?" And he said, "He's like, I can almost guarantee you the best you'll get out of that is around 80%."
That's fire. It's hard. Think about it. Like, pitching is so hard to do. And then what was the last one?
And the last one was
Justin
Justin Tucker hitting 100 consistent field goals, which I think if you want to wait on it, and
Are these like from
take the
different distance, or he's doing like 40 yarders?
Yeah, is this like just the standard extra point? I don't know.
Extra
my
point.
thing,
He'll do 500.
my thing would probably be Curry.
Yeah.
That's something he probably does on the
I think it's
daily.
unanimous for sure. Steph Curry. That guy's a legend.
if it's like I said, bro, if it's not Curry, it's Tucker. Just because, bro, my man, the GOAT, my man, different. Like he built different. I don't know what he be doing, but yeah, he make it happen, bro. I'm not betting against my dog.
All right. Well, that does it. That does it. That does it.
Yo, that guy was having that. But
But
as always, follow us on Twitter and Instagram, MBF_Clo, MBF_Trill, MBF_podcast on Twitter and Instagram and YouTube. I lost it. I was like, what would I have to say after that? Nothing but facts all together on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Anchor. Y'all take care. See you next week.
make sure y'all subscribe to all that stuff. We love y'all. Catch y'all next week. We out.